Okay, now do this. Now go into your heel. Okay, drive into your heel on the boards. Notice what you had to do. You have to lift your pinky toe up in order to do that, and you probably feel like your cuboid bone is out of the equation a little bit from the pressure standpoint. Now it feels like my big toe and my heel are holding the pressure. Okay, so if I go into the heel bone, like the bone of the heel, try to break the board with your heel. That's the problem, is when you use that thing like a stake in the ground, that is heel heavy movement. That's what an Olympic lift and heavy squats and crooked feet actually does in real time. You probably don't feel it that way because you're not usually barefoot, squatting for the most part, but you also don't have this board giving you that feedback, and it's not slanted. So it's very obvious when you go inner ankle bone low on the boards. Okay, now relax and just let the board do its job. Notice what happens. Automatically, you should feel a difference now. Now you're back. You're back in the three green dots. Okay, go again. Drive into your heels. Try to break the board with your heels. Notice what happens. Pinky toe and outside of midfoot is just all of a sudden out of the equation. Inside and backside are really heavy. Okay, now relax. Let your foot do what it wants to do on the boards. Big toe, forefoot, pinky toe, midfoot, right? I'm back in that GOATA tripod. So what I'm trying to get to is let the board do the work. Don't overthink it. Okay, let the shape do the work. Elbows inside the knees. Don't overthink it. Let the reps do the work. Let's just rep this out. 20 reps, 20 reps. We see what? The crooked foot, right? That's the big one. So now if you're standing there, you felt what it was like to be fist width distance, second toe straight. Okay, get a little wider and get a little crooked. Now remember the same angles, second toe and kneecap. Okay, so if I go down into this squat and I try to get into this same feeling of torque, so I felt that torque, I felt that security where my ankle it got into that outer corner. It was tucked into its socket, so to speak, in both the hip and the ankle. I feel secure right here. I feel like a rubber band loaded and I can launch. Okay, now once you get wide and crooked, try to recreate that. Notice how far you really have to go to try to get into that corner of the socket. It's very unlikely that you're going to be able to do that all the way down. Most people don't. Now, what they really do is they kind of keep their kneecap right over their second toe. So their kneecap is basically pointing towards the same direction as the second toe. So they didn't really coil the ankle. If anything, what's actually happening right now is the ankle, the shin is going in, the thigh is going out. So now as you get lower and lower, you'll see that really those crooked foot squats look like this. Okay, now look at your kneecap versus your second toe. The second toe is pointing out, the kneecap is pointing inside of the second toe. Okay, so kneecap out isn't enough. This is still disorganized at the ankle level. This bone is in, this compartment is out. That doesn't allow you to go with the sewing of the Achilles tendon, of the IT band, of that outer loading. You're not going to get there. But with a straight foot, okay, I can get into that space. I can work that knee outside of the second toe, and I can coil up and I can create this type of shape in the leg. Now I have structural integrity. I can load. I can release. My Achilles is going with its design. It's not going to tear. My knee is on the same page, meaning my thigh and my shin are on the same page out and on the same page in. How do you tear your knee? You can't. How do you tear your knee? There's only one way. This bone has to go this way as this bone goes that way. So now go to that squat again and notice what you have to do. You're trying to get your hips to open. But as you're trying to open your hips, you're collapsing your shin. So when you see these athletes sitting down into these squats, this is a micro ACL tear. It's a micro Achilles tear. So then when we see them go and run around and put their foot in the ground like this, and everyone's like, you can't relate the two. No, you absolutely can. It's called pattern recognition. It's a kindergarten lesson. That's a square. That's a square. This angle is that angle. Where does that angle get put into my life? Where is it going into my life? Bad shoes, bad chairs, bad training. So if you're putting these angles into your brain, they will take that information and they will use it because your squat is your squat. If I squat like this, guess what? I'm going to land like this. If I squat like this, I'm going to land like this.
Is how you move. Check out Dak Prescott here. He's in a squat. You can see his feet are really wide and his feet are turned out and crooked. Now, when you watch him walk, you see the same thing. You see the feet crooked and everything is just stuck, turned out. Even in his throw, we see the same pattern. His feet are crooked and his heel is stuck inside. Compare him to Tom Brady and you will see Brady consistently has straight feet and his body is organized and in its proper alignment. This pattern shows up when he's walking and we see it when he's throwing the football. If you want to become more durable as an athlete, that starts by correcting our foundation, and that is our feet and ankles. So try out the GOATA Bolt Squat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna push back into a deep resting squat. You're gonna keep your feet about 1 fist apart and make sure the feet are pointed straight ahead. From here, we wanna plant down through the balls of our feet, especially that big toe ball. Don't let that start to come off of the ground. And then we wanna make sure our heels stay pointed straight behind us. Don't let the heel start turning in. Once you're kind of set up here, you'll get your arms inside of your knees. Again, make sure those feet are planted down, heels are straight, and all you're gonna do from here is lift your butt into like a half squat, and you'll just hold this position until the legs